What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 19th of July, and here we are with about 8 hours and 7 minutes left, sitting at 118K, just above there, just above there. A little bit of volatility on the day so far. But it's a very, very neutral day, very, very low movement day as far as the past week is concerned, and even before that, right? It's reminiscent of this day here, which was last Saturday, actually. So over the past week, the two smallest days have been Saturdays. Weekends are not known for a lot of movement, right? Though Sunday last week was a pretty voluptuous day. Let's get into the, it's kind of crazy. Friday we closed here, and then on Tuesday we even went below. We just didn't fill the CME gap, but the price did. Right, anyways, and maybe the price didn't technically fill the CME gap, but it filled back where Friday's close was. Anyways, getting into the 1 hour time frame, that might not seem that significant to anybody, but I just think it's interesting. The 1 hour time frame here, looking at this, as far as the RSI is concerned, I think that we are in a downtrend. Right, you can see this parallel channel. We could be coming back up to test this area for resistance. We've done that before and then gone down, so don't get your hopes up if we move up higher. I kind of was assuming that we'd move up higher, and depending on how we close this 1 hour candle and the following candle, we might still move up higher. And I want to go over that in a second, but if we go lower, we'll go over where those targets are too. The 1 hour MACD looks like it wants to flip bearish. The stochastics look like they want to, I guess it's the stochastics are all right. The RSI and the stochastics give me the idea that we do move up a little bit more, but the MACD makes me think that we might be stopping here pretty soon. If we look at the 4 hour time frame, MACD would make me think we go lower. Stochastics make me think we go lower. RSI rejecting the 50 makes me think we want to go lower. So let's go over those targets now, I guess. If we're looking at this here from maybe we can take a high to a low. Let's take a high to a low. And then we'll take a low to a high. That 1272 to 1414 area, even the 1618, I really do like this area here, the primary target zone. And within that zone, you've got the potential to do a double bottom at 115.7K, a bounce off the 069 at 116.2K, something that, that line right there is pretty close to this 4 hour closing period right there. It's pretty close. And if not, maybe we get a slightly lower low at 115.3K. And Bitcoin does like to wick below its 1618, so just keep that in mind. We could go even below 115K. And then from there, we should recover. We should see some growth after that, if we are to go lower. Now, here's the one thing that's got me thinking we could go up. I was looking at this last night, and it's not foolproof. It's not a guarantee that this will happen. But if we take this from a high to a low, right, you see that high to low right where that consolidation phase is here, and then you take that, you put it right at the top of that consolidation phase. You basically made that same exact move. A little bit more, but you basically made that same exact move, right? We take this from a low to a high right here. Right, from your kind of like first discernible consolidation phase, you put it at that low there, and boom, you made a move essentially that was basically that same movement, right? A little bit more, but basically that same movement. You take, hell, if you take this low and you put it, whoop, that's not what I meant to do. You take this low and you put it at this high, and then you put this all the way down at this consolidation phase, boom, you basically made that exact same move again. You know what I mean? Like it's rather serendipitous how this all works out. If we take a low to high or high to low here, we put this right here at this high, you've made basically that same move but just a little bit bigger, right? If we're looking at this here, and by the way, the M pattern that I was talking about yesterday, if anybody's wondering if that's still in effect, the M pattern got invalidated with this price action here. It absolutely got invalidated. Does that mean that we can't go lower? No, we could go lower, but invalidating an M makes me think that we actually would go higher, to be completely fair. The 1 hour time frames have me thinking that we could go lower, and the 1 hour indicators, I should say, have me thinking we could go lower. Maybe not the RSI and the stochastics, though. Maybe it was the 4 hour indicators. I'm sorry. The 4 hour indicators are the ones that make me think that we could go lower, but we don't have to. And then, of course, here, just to complete the thought, high or low to high here. If we were to put this right here at this base, not saying that it'll take until Sunday to get there. Maybe it does. But if we were to draw a high to a low here, that move effectively takes us right to the golden ratio. Right there, 19.3K. And if we're looking at our liquidations over the past 24 hours, this really high spike is right there at 19.5K. So might we go clear out some of these shorts which we do have a lot of shorts right now. If we're looking at this, maybe not over the past 24 hours, but over the past week that we've been consolidating here, the shorts definitely have it. Go up to 119K, something like that, right in this little area here, pile on some longs, maybe come back down afterwards. I don't know. We might not go lower, you guys. And that's the thing. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. That could have been our higher low of this range. We might not go lower than 116.8K. Nothing's promised. But at this point in time, if I have to be honest, I think that we do both. I think that we do move from here up to about 119.3, 119.5K, somewhere up in there. And then we'll probably come back down and we will form a double bottom of sorts, right? You've got the atom here. Maybe we form like an eve here, a soft kind of curve. And then going into the end of next week, we'll start to pump again. I don't know if next week will be at new all-time highs or not. And that's okay if we're not. But I would assume that next week, if we're looking at this as kind of a range here, if we draw a box around it, we're on the lower parts of this range. Closing this week at the lower parts of this range, I would think next week we close at the higher parts of the range. Then maybe we consolidate over the weekend, and then going into the following week, the ending week of July, that might be when we start to break out and see new all-time highs again. All that time, altcoins can definitely rally. When Bitcoin's consolidating in a nice tight range like this, even if it's moving down, if it's moving up, whatever, altcoins can definitely rally. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little rally here over the next week for altcoins. But does Bitcoin see new all-time highs? That's the question, I suppose, right? It could. It really could. I would think, looking at the weekly time frame here, as long as we're still in this overbought zone, I would think that we're set for every week to be some sort of growth week. Maybe not this week. We can close a little bit red. That's okay. But every week should close green after this for the next like 5 weeks, I would think, if not more time than that. Looking at it here, 118K, 1 day, 9 hours left. I think that if we want to maintain this overbought reading, we cannot close below would it be 116K? Maybe 115K. I don't have the formula out here. I can't give you that input, but one of those levels. It's okay to go below those levels, but you don't want to close at those levels or lower. As long as we maintain an overbought reading in the RSI on the weekly time frame, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, right? If we do get out of the overbought zone on this week, understand that puts us in a rather precarious situation where we could revert back down to prices that are below our prior all-time highs, and that's not good, you guys. I'm looking at x.com, and I'm seeing all this euphoria, all this bullish stuff, right? Every single thing. It's about it's either about this or it's about the financial institutions integrating Bitcoin, right? Finally accepting Bitcoin, governments around the world accepting Bitcoin. It's all about Trump signing in crypto bills and stuff like that. It just seems like, other than the price, it seems like we're in like a euphoric top area as far as like the media goes. I don't think that we are. I don't think that the bull market is done here. Absolutely not. This would be a very shallow end. But it does make me think we might have a little shakeout, right? People might need to get bearish. There might need to be some negative news and some shorts to pile on before we actually do move up higher. But all that to say, weekly time frame here, we want to stay overbought. If we don't, that could be problematic. And then tying that in with the euphoria that I see on x.com, that could be problematic too. On the bright side, the fear and greed index is really not that greedy. We're at a 69 right now, which we normally get into extreme greed whenever we top off. So I think that we've got higher prices to go there as well. I don't really have anything else that I want to say, guys. In case it's confusing, because I know I can be confusing, I very much do still believe that we have more price to grow. I don't believe that it stops here. We'll probably consolidate either between now and the end of next week, or at least for the next few days, and then next week we'll start moving up higher. I would assume that by the end of this month of July, we would be at 140K, or at least somewhere around there, maybe 135, 145, if not higher. Going into August, the target still remains the same, right? End of August, we're looking for $180,000 to be the price. 180, 190, somewhere around there. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves.